Thank you so much
for that beautiful music. All right, well, my message today is using love to jump off the guilt train. And I have to tell you, when I thought about writing a message for this special day of Valentine's, I thought, man, this is going to be easy. Because I know that love is the key that unlocks every door and answers every question. Of course, then, doubt had to set in. You know, I thought, wait a minute. This is going to be harder than I thought, because this is a special day, and it has to be a special message about love on Valentine's Day. And I started thinking, well, what part of love am I going to talk about? How deep should I go with this? And will this be confusing when it gets all put together? Because I had all these thoughts going crazy in my head. And that doubt brought up times in my life. I mean, you know, it's like you get on this choo-choo, you know, this choo-choo train that starts bringing more doubt. And you start going down the tracks and you think, oh my gosh, I remember back when I did da-da-da-da-da, and oh God, made me feel so guilty, or it made me feel so shameful. Or I started thinking about different stuff in my past that seemed so silly, but yet at the same time it was bringing up all this doubt and all this guilt and all this shame. And I was like putting all this burden on myself, and I thought, God, how am I going to bring this message out, you know? And then I decided I'd turn to the best thing I could do in that moment, which was Facebook. What, you thought I was going to say the Bible or something? Listen, everyone knows you can get great stuff off Facebook, right? Besides, you can waste time scrolling through those pages, right? Building up a little more guilt and shame because you're not doing the things you need to be doing. But you think all the time you're having great fun until you get done and you look at the clock and 3 hours have passed and you're nowhere, you know? Well, today we're going to explore the impetus behind love and how it can move us away from jumping on that train of guilt and shame. So I have to say right now, all aboard! You like that? Let us first affirm our statements of truth, shall we? I am a child of God. I am deserving of good in my life. I am accepting good now. Seriously, though, I did find some great stuff last month on Facebook, some of those sayings and posters, and it was bringing forth a message for me. And so I decided to use some of those today just to lock in the message a little bit better. And some of you might have seen some of these on Facebook, so I know it'll bring it a little bit further for you. But one thing that I do a lot is I say, I love you, or love you. I say it to a lot of people, don't I? I think everybody probably in here has heard me say it to them, haven't you? If you haven't, I'm sorry, because I try to tell that to everybody. But I think that people are surprised when I say I love you or love you because they're not expecting. I don't know if it's because I'm a minister or they're just not expecting somebody, you know, just to randomly say that. But I think that if we are using Jesus as an example of how we are to live, then why not freely share love? You know, why not say I love you to people and really mean it? And I get that it can be difficult for people to use those words and let alone be able to feel them. It is hard, isn't it? But love is something that is inherent within each of us. And it's one of these 12 powers, the second one there in the pink, that is inherent within us. And it's a gift that was given to us from God, so we should be using it, shouldn't we? Yeah. But some people might say, yeah, you know, I like to think that I love everybody, but life gets in the way. You know, so-and-so made me mad. Or my kids won't behave. Or I hate my job, and don't even get me started on my finances, my house, my car, or my body, all of which make me crazy and not think of love. In fact, you find yourself exhausted sometimes from all that. You say, I'm exhausted from trying to be stronger than I feel. Ever feel like that? Yeah. And this statement really holds true for a lot of us because I know a lot of you are caregivers. Some of you are grandmothers or aunts taking care of grandkids. Some of you are sisters taking care of sisters. Some some of you have taken care of your parents or are still taking care of your parents. And I know that sometimes you don't feel strong. You know, in those trying times, it's difficult. Or you might be taking care of your husband or your wife, whatever. And it can be hard to keep a smile on your face, let alone think of loving thoughts or loving words that go to that person. You know, we try to be strong, we try to have patience, and sometimes we forget our basic unity principles that we are to live by. And we find it hard to live life. We cry, we get mad, and then we feel guilty, don't we? We start feeling guilty that we felt anything less than love. We feel shameful that we could get mad at somebody that can't help themselves. We feel less than good because we have maybe said words that weren't loving. Well, Liam Neeson, I love him, but he wrote this really great quote about love on Facebook, and of course I had to save that one, especially with it being Liam Neeson. Everyone says love hurts, but that is not true. Loneliness hurts, rejection hurts, losing someone hurts, envy hurts. Everyone gets these things confused with love, but in reality, love is the only thing in this world that covers up pain and makes someone feel wonderful again. Love is the only thing in this world that does not hurt. And we forget that sometimes, don't we? And when I read this, I thought, Liam, you are so smart. And so good looking too. Sorry, Warren. He already knows. He gets a Liam Neeson movie, I'm like there, right? No, really, I did think about how powerful those words were and how true this statement is. And we tend to think that love can hurt us, that somebody else can hurt us through love. But love can't hurt us because love is not anything bad. It's not pain or misery or anything. Love is a spiritual gift we have been given that is inherent with us, in us. It can't hurt us. Somebody else's love cannot hurt us. We are the ones giving away the power to be able to allow that to happen, and it is up to us to focus back in on that spiritual aspect of love. And I know that, I've been on my pity pot before, where I said, oh, gosh, nobody cares about me, and no one loves me, and I'm sitting here by myself, all alone. Anybody ever do that? Come on, I know you have. And then you start thinking, oh, God, if somebody hears me say that, I'm going to, they're going to think I'm crazy, or they're going to be thinking I'm nuts, or whatever. And then what happens? The guilt and the shame start building again, right? Because we're thinking, how ungrateful can I be for feeling like I have nothing or no one in my life? It's not true. And if we even look at what Reverend Warren spoke about last week, he was telling us that our personality is the one that's feeding us this kind of garbage. It's just our personality, our ego getting in the way, right? We want it to be all about us all the time, and yet, if it's not about us, then we're wondering why everybody isn't making it about us. But the only person that can make it about us is us. Yeah, we're the ones that have to celebrate our good. We're the ones that have to be proud of what we do. We're the ones that have to say, I love you. It takes us working for ourselves, and that's a spiritual truth that we need to pound into our head, that love is freely within us, and we can share that all the time with ourselves, let alone with everybody else out there. And you know what? None of those negative thoughts will surface if we stay in that mode, if we stay in that spiritual truth. Think about this. Another Facebook one. Why do we close our eyes when we pray, cry, kiss, or dream? Because the most beautiful things in life cannot be seen, but only felt from the heart. Isn't that a good one? Yeah. And that's the thing. Love is a feeling. We feel it from within, don't we? It's not about somebody else loving you to make you feel loved. It's the feeling from within you that is feeling the love that you can share and love others with. This is so true. We can feel things if we stay true to ourselves and stay on that spiritual truth, which is love. You know, I've been using Dr. Joe Dispenza's books lately, and we just got our wholesale code from Hay House, so now we'll be able to get a bunch of those books, and we're going to get other ones just besides Joe's too. But you know, he a lot of the things he talks about are a lot like Fillmore's, and and he connects thoughts and feelings in really kind of a cool way in his text. And Fillmore did this too, but Joe does it in a way that makes us understand better. And that's why I kind of took this idea of love to this deeper level, I feel like. But in his book, The Placebo Effect, he writes, thinking and feeling, and feeling and thinking. Just as thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of the body. Think about this. Just as thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of the body. Let it soak in, because it's powerful. And if you think about Fillmore's law of mind action, which states what? Thoughts held, say it with me, mind produced after their kind. Right. Then we can definitely understand why we have things that show up in our bodies called aches and pains and disease, can't we? Yes. Because what our thoughts are thinking and producing can turn around and show up in our bodies through what we're feeling. So if we think love comes from everybody else loving us, then guess what? We're mixed up in our thoughts, aren't we? Mm-hmm. And guess what? We're probably never going to have a healthy relationship until we get that flipped around. To knowing that love is abundant within us and needs to be coming from us, not from the outside in. Because guess what? Anything you gather up is what? Could also slip right through those fingers, couldn't it? Yes. But anything from within that's coming from within you is always there, ready to be expressed. So we can end up in this loop, see, with our thoughts and our feelings and what shows up in our bodies, and then our bodies start hurting, so then we start feeling something, and then we distort that feeling with the thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I was around so-and-so last week and I got that cold from them. We do this, which I get that because cold is a virus, it could be in the air, whatever. But we also have to be able to say, no, you know, whatever it came from, whatever the germ was not from another person. It was from the germs that were there. And I do have to tell you, I Lysoled the whole church after we had our episode. But I think, you know, it's just one of those things. But we do get in this loop sometimes. And so I went to Charles Fillmore and I found this great quote about feelings. And he feeds us with these very wise words. He says, we may talk about the wisdom of God, but the love of God must be felt in the heart. It cannot be described, and one who has not felt it can have no concept of it from the description of others. The more we talk about love, the stronger it grows in our consciousness. And it says the consciousness, but it's our consciousness. If we persist in thinking thoughts and speaking loving words, we are sure to bring into experience the feeling of the great love that is beyond description, the very love of God. Who wants the very love of God expressing through them all the time? I do double hand me, I'm going for it. Because we are the love of God, and we need to share that love that is expressing in and through us as God. And when I say I love you, I am activating the power within me of love to align my body, my spirit, my soul, all in that thought process with my feelings and everything. And when I say I love you to each and every one of you, I am sincere about that. I am sharing my love with you, and hopefully it will be a reminder for you to activate your love within you. And it's sincere. Because I want everybody to experience all the good that you could ever experience. Don't you guys want to do that? Yes. I mean, just think. Every time we get together, we have such a good time here, don't we? Yes. And don't you want more of that in your life? Yes. I know I do. I want to have that good all the time. And I see some of these churches, I drive by them through the week, and they're dead. They're dead. And they might be jam full on Sunday with, hundreds of cars out there, but the rest of the week there's nothing going on. And I'm telling you what, this church is busy and it's got energy going. And we want more energy going. We want more things happening because that's how we share the love. That's how we bring the love from within ourselves out. And that's what it's all about. Look at, for example, Super Bowl halftime. How many people watch Super Bowl halftime? I was tortured to watch some of the Super Bowl too, but I did it out of love. But the theme for the halftime, one of my girlfriends was up there in the crowd and she was taking pictures of this yellow thing. She says, "Oh, I get to be part of halftime." But when they put the crowd up, they each had a piece of paper that they were supposed to hold. And when the different colors all came together, it made a rainbow. And it says, "Believe in love," is what it said at the Super Bowl halftime. Did you see it? Mm-hmm. It was awesomeness. And, the singers and everything were promoting that too. To me, that's the consciousness of the world. And we here are shifting that consciousness and making people realize how important love is, how important to believe in something beyond yourself, to believe in a power that is within each and every one of us. I mean, that's the coolest thing. And I think that the world is ready for this shifting consciousness, and we can be the catalyst. I keep saying that, but I believe we are that bridge for the world. When you think of someone in your family or one of your friends that's annoying or obnoxious, know that you are going to be their bridge for them to feel the love that they have within them. And here's a great thing from Facebook. Love is the bridge between you and everything. And when we can understand that love exists and that feeling of love is within us no matter what, then we can totally realize that we are the true essence of love, each and every one of us. I like to say, change your feeling and change your thoughts. Feel your thoughts and change your perspective and your body. Now, who wouldn't want their body to respond in a better manner? I know I do. And I know sometimes I'm not doing the right things to make my body happy, but let's be real, I'm working on it. And all of us can work on it. I don't have the perfect curves like I used to, but I'm working on it. I'm changing my thoughts, which change my feelings, which will result in my body changing. And I'm going to enjoy this new diet plan of mine. Because love can feel the need, love can feed the need that we have within us. We don't have to use food or substance or anything. All we have to do is recognize that love within us. I mean, I'm on fire today because of how powerful it is when you activate one of those powers. And love for me is a huge one. Love can heal any ache or pain because when we are feeling love, nothing negative exists. Start loving your body if you're hurting anywhere. Send an instant jolt of love to that ache or pain and you will feel better because love is pure. And I love this one. If we can't see results in what we are doing, then maybe we need to increase the dose. A physician once said, the best medicine for humans is love. Someone asked, well, what if it doesn't work? He smiled and said, increase the dose. So maybe we're not loving ourselves enough, and we just need to bump that up. But we can find more ways to feel love so that we can express more love, or we can start expressing more love so that we can feel more love. That kind of a circle is a good circle, isn't it? Because it could even make like an infinity sign. And now we're back to the point of why I say I love you to all of you. And this is why. I feel if I believe in the Christ in me and I can behold the Christ in you, then isn't that expression a result of love? And so that's why I say I love you. So I ask you, can you behold the Christ in yourself? I can't hear you.
Yes.
And can you behold the Christ in another?
Yes.
Then can you freely love yourself?
Yes.
Can you freely love others?
Yes.
Yes. Because here's another Facebook quote for you. Extend loving thoughts and energy wherever and whenever you encounter anyone or anything. And if you struggle to do this, guess what? I have an answer for you. All you have to do is pick up this wonderful text the Bible, and begin to read. And I've listed these Bible quotes in the Bible references in your bulletin under the affirmations. And I love this because this Facebook quote is called 10 Ways to Love. And before we start reading them, believe you me, there are some of these on this list that I'm working on too. So, you know, when they popped up, I was like, oh, that's for me. But anyway, here they are. And you can see over here the Bible quote over to the side, so I put them on your bulletin. I didn't put all this, but using 10 ways to love. Listen without interrupting. Speak without accusing. Let's say them together. Give without sparing. Pray without ceasing. Answer without arguing. Share without pretending. Enjoy without complaint. Trust without wavering. Forgive without punishing. Promise without forgetting. Wow. Now, isn't that good? And the thing is that what we have to do is, if there's any of these you struggle with, because this is what I first thought of when I started reading it, thought, oh, I better work on that one, I better work on that one. And I was looking up the Bible quotes to see if they aligned right with unity principles, which they did. I started thinking, you know, don't beat yourself up. You know, we can easily look at one of those and go, oh, yeah, I'm not even close to working on that one. You know, I've really got to work on that. Don't do that, because then we're jumping back on that guilt and shame train, aren't we? Yeah, we're loading ourselves back up on that. And all we have to do is send ourselves love, the love from within. Feel the love that is naturally there, and tell yourself, as an expression of love, I know that I can pray without ceasing. I know, with the power of love that is within me, that I can listen without interrupting. You know? Love yourself enough to bring forth that in a positive way. And you can pray and go deeper with your feelings. And when you do that on certain things, then you will no longer have that error thinking going on in your mind. And what happens when we change our thinking, when we change our thoughts? We change our feelings, which show up in our bodies, right? And isn't that what we're working towards? And we stay off that guilt train by sending our love out from within. We can lift our hearts together in love, and we can choose to have loving thoughts all the time. And I got this little prayer off Facebook that I thought was really great for us to help with doing this. A cleansing prayer. Let's say it together, shall we? I am now choosing to cleanse myself and release any and all thought forms, beings, situations, and energies that are no longer of service to my highest and greatest good. All planes of my existence across all universes and across all lifetimes. I ask that all energies that are less than love be transmuted for the highest good for all, and so it is. We are luminous. And I say this because we are luminous. When we affirm these words together, we are sending it out to all the universe. We're sending it out beyond just this room. We're sending it out to all countries, to all places, to all people. And if you truly are doing it from that expression of love within yourself, it makes a huge difference, because we know that the power of love is a catalyst for changing our lives and aligning with our highest good. And when we take every step with love in the forefront of our thoughts and mind, we will stay off that guilt train all the time. It won't even pop into our world. Our feelings will align with thoughts, and we will naturally express love. Love is not only waiting, but it is longing to manifest in our lives. When we can realize that our feelings affect our thoughts, and that our thoughts affect our feelings, and that it all can manifest in our bodies, we can easily agree that sending and sharing love can alter all of our lives. So let's all agree to share our love each and every day. Can we do that?
Yes.
Thank you for being here today. God bless you.